Hello everyone, welcome to our final project for CSE-564. So this is our dashboard and our topic is sustainable industrialization and urbanization. My name is Rohit and the reason for selecting this dashboard or this particular topic was to see and explore how the world is doing in terms of sustainable industrialization and urbanization and how it is coming along with respect to the goals set by United Nations. Pulkit will tell you a bit more about those particular goals.
So, United Nations committed to a long-term comprehensive strategy to tackle the world's greatest challenges related to global sustainable development. So, in a visualization, we would talk about SDG Goal 11, which is to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. So, the goals supported under these are to support the least developed countries, including through financial and technical assistance, reduce per capita environmental impact on cities, and reduce the number of deaths. So we'll check these hypotheses. So UN provides 1500 world development indicators for each country and for each year. So we have selected based on our goal 11 the 45 highly correlated development indicators and put it on the MDS plot. So once you select a feature on the MDS plot, for example the urban population, the word map, the bar chart, and the time series updates. The bar chart shows you the most and least valued at your selected attribute. Once selecting a country, for example Kazakhstan, on the word map, the it will stack the country on the time series chart so you can compare the progress of the countries with time. Once you select the brushing in the time series, the bar chart, the word map, and the PCP updates on the group time series. So let's talk about a visualization. So first, the urban population growth. We do see the urban population growth. The trends have become a stagnant. But for example, in some of the countries like Russia, the overall is negative 0.11. But if we see in the initial years, the urban population growth is like really negative. 0.34, and in US it was 1.14. But let's see for the latest years, in Russia it has increased, but in US it has decreased, like from 1.4 to 0.7. So it has become half the population growth. So we tend to link the urban population growth to the forest area. Let's see how it trades. So for the countries, like for the developing countries like India or Russia, the percentage of population growth I think has been increasing. Let's see for the initial years. The first forest area for India is 22%, and for the latest years it has become to 24%. So yeah, some developing countries are taking some measures to increase the forest area. We also, how much the forest cover is linked to the CO2 emission. Let's talk about that as well. Let's select the CO2 emission, and initially the countries like USA, the CO2 emission was 20.47%, but as we go down to the recent years, the CO2 emission has become 15%. Like, so it's a great attribute, like countries like USA have taking some measures to tackle this issue. But CO2 emission, is it linked to the damage of percentage of GDP? Let's see that. So we have clicked the this attribute, which is the adjusted saving, and how much CO2 emission is reducing, is damaging the GDP. So over the recent years, we can see it's pretty much decreasing. So like countries have been taking certain measures so that their GDP shouldn't impact over the time.
Yeah, so as you guys have seen, the dashboard helped us to get some great insights into how urbanization and forest land and carbon dioxide emissions are all related to each other and how the world is coming and all along in terms of that. Not only that, if you just want to focus on individual attributes, the dashboard and the layout we have created serves as an excellent tool for analyzing any particular attribute or any particular marker of development. So let's say if you want to check how the world is doing along in terms of undernourishment. So if you click on this attribute, which is called as prevalence of undernourishment percentage of population. So it also updates right here. So you always have an idea of what you are seeing on the world map. So the world map serves as a great tool for getting an understanding of what is going around in the world. So as you can see, developed nation here, United States, Canada, and most of the Europe. Undernourishment isn't a problem anymore when we are speaking about the year 2015, but still the most of Africa is still suffering from undernourishment, and let's say we want to see the time series of how it's coming along, whether it is decreasing, increasing. So yeah, so I clicked on Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. It shows right here, and as you can see, there hasn't been much improvement in terms of this should go down, but it's almost the same. Let's click for another country. Well, it's going down a bit, but it has increased in the recent years. So you can see there hasn't been much improvement when we speak of undernourishment. So using this tool, we again get an idea of uh, what particular area we need to focus on and what can be done for that. India, it's almost the same. The thickness of or the area of the graph has gone down a bit, but not by much. And also for finding correlation between attributes, you can use PCP right here. So if we click on all healthcare related attributes, let's say we click on hospitals per 1,000 people, we click on physicians after that, then we want to see the probability of you dying early. And let's see something like current expenditure on healthcare. All right, so after clicking on 5 attributes one after the other, our PCP is updated to reflect that. And as you can see, there's a correlation between hospitals and the probability of you dying at an early age or the youth ages. So if you see the hospital beds per 1,000 people, as it goes up, as you can see right here, the probability of you dying early goes down. So it clearly shows a pattern that we need to increase the number of hospital beds per 1,000 people for us to improve this particular attribute or decrease unfortunate deaths. And the same is the correlation between physicians per 1,000 people and the probability of young people dying. So young people obviously are a very important part of population in terms of development, urbanization, and everything. So we want them to be healthy and alive. So in this way, for healthcare department, we selected 5 different attributes, got a good overview from PCP, and we also can compare the time series in a very clear and efficient way. We can also hover to see the area exactly going up or down. And the healthcare expenditure for these not so developed nations has been the same mostly. And uh, not just healthcare, if you want to say, let's say, if you want to get an idea about how other countries are doing in terms of high technology export, which I have a great insight over here. So if you see US and China, they are obviously highlighted with a very strong accent. That means that they are on the top of the list. So the bar chart clearly reflects that. You can see China is on top of the game, then followed by Germany, then USA, then Korea. But this hasn't been the case. So if we go back in time a bit, you can see using this button, I can go back in time 2008, 2009. So as you can see, USA and China were pretty close to each other. But China has done something in the recent years that has given them a lot of edge in terms of high technology exports. So US and China are pretty close right now. But if we go down, down, we go, and we can see that China has a clear edge over it. So one of the attribute or the one of the causes that I think is the reason for that is research. If you click on research, if you click on, let's see, USA. So USA clearly has invested a lot of money in research and continues to do so. India not so much. But let's see China. So it's clear that China has been investing a lot more money in research, and that might be a reason why their high technology exports has been going up. Yeah, so our dashboard can also be used for causal modeling in a similar fashion that I showed you just now. And this feature, yeah, the toggle we haven't talked about. This simply toggles between the most and the least for a given particular attribute. Yes, so that pretty much explains how our dashboard works and some of the few insights we have shared with you and how everything kind of connects with each other and how you can use different elements of interaction to gain a brilliant insight into whatever field you want to dive deep into and see how the world is coming along and how we are progressing. Thanks a lot for tuning into our presentation and have a good day.